How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing today? It's a very, very special day at the Spidey Hub. We got Kane today. We also got a very, very special guest. The mature of my creator is here. Please put the microphone a little closer to you. Yes.
Okay. Is that better?
That's way better.
Okay, good.
But remember when you a little closer, when you have to speak into it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Angela Rafold. I am the mother of. What is your character?
You're not. What?
I am the mother of Harold Crawford.
Yeah.
And I've been invited here to speak with him on his podcast.
You are the mother of my creator, right?
Okay.
There we go.
Lord have mercy.
He tells me such good things, but of course I'm in his head. Well, can you enlighten the audience on what you've done? Like, what's so special about you, Miss Raffle? No, I heard that you. Yes, what's so special about you? What makes you so special? Because I hear all these good things about you. I can even read about you.
You can read
I
about
seen you on Twitter. I seen you on LinkedIn. It says something about you being a social worker.
Check two.
Yes. Professionally, I'm a social worker. By training, I'm a social worker. I've formerly taught at college, community college there, over the Human Services Program.
Check
But my
two.
most important job is the mother of 3 beautiful children and the grandmother of an 8-year-old. That's my most important job.
Okay. So, here on this show, we like to talk about things that are important. We also like to talk about international topics, worldly topics. I'm sorry, y'all. I just saved the day.
You just saved the day. Okay.
Okay.
So you want to talk about what I've done over out of.
You had some special stuff to mention, though.
I do. Oh, okay. So yes, there is an organization called One Silver Star that is doing quite a bit these days to assist folks who may be experience discomfort from the stopping of food stamps. So there's a couple of things I want to tell you about. On November 8th, which is Saturday, at 2911 McNair at the Epiphany Church, there's going to be a yard sale. So anything that you may have lost or clothes or anything you need to buy, you may want to stop by Epiphany Church at 2911 McNair. It's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And there's also a fundraiser for the organization, but they'll have lots of things available there to you.
No doubt.
Then on Friday, on Friday, November 7th, you need to bring your own bag, but from 9 to 5:30, they will be having a food distribution for families. It's One Silver Star Community Food Outreach. Distribution of food for free to anyone that's going to come, as long as you're there. And it's at, I can't do this. It's at 4525 Olive. Again, 4525 Olive, Friday, November 7th. 5:30, One Silver Star Community Food Outreach, food distribution for anyone that appears.
Yeah.
They will be having a Christmas program in December.
Okay.
So anyone in the listening audience that they have toys, pets, gloves, socks, hats, winter things that they'll be distributing to families. I think they have 175 families at this point that they'll be distributing to. If you could, I'll give you the contact number. Her name is Cassandra Logan. And her phone number, her contact number is 314-495-8828. Again, that's Cassandra Logan with One Silver Star. It's 314-495-8828.
Right on. The real superhero.
That's right. Capital people.
Okay. Before we move, go ahead.
No, I don't have anything.
Before we move on into other topics, I want to talk about what's this here. I want to talk about a couple major events that's happening in the world today. I don't know if you guys know these names. I like to put this out here because it might enlighten somebody. They might hear information that they've never heard before. So, a man named Dawood Abu Aklis retired today. 2 French nationals freed from Iranian prison after more than 3 years in detention. That's a good thing. Oh man, Trump administration. Trump administration advancing UN resolution for Gaza security force. Source says.
Whoa.
That's what the source says.
Okay.
All right. Heroic actions of train employee and driver saved many lives in England. Stabbing attack, police say. It's a hero in everybody. All right. And this is what is okay according to my wiki search. What is the most important? What is important in the world right now? What is the most? Yeah. What is important in the world right now? We already know. Climate change. Climate change is one of the major challenges of our time. From shifting weather patterns that threaten food production to rising sea levels that increase the risk of catastrophic flooding, the impacts of climate change are global in scope and unprecedented in scale.
Whoa.
And some current events right now. This is what I really want to get. U.S. NATO officials discuss possible weapons sales to aid Ukraine. Divided by that's what it said. Divided by Russia's invasion. Mariupol family's future remains unclear. U.S. NATO officials discuss possible weapon sales to aid Ukraine. You were saying something about that earlier.
Yep.
Iran may still have uranium, but nuclear program dismantled Israeli officials. And at least 23 dead after airstrike on Buddhist monastery in Myanmar.
Whoa.
Wow. And that was our news cap for today.
Okay.
Thoughts, questions?
No. It's a
No.
crazy world, man. I mean, everybody wants the same thing. Power. You know what power and money lead to.
I keep hearing about the militaristic advances of the U.S. and that concerns me a bit, but because they've moved a warship, I believe, off the
Yep.
coast of Venezuela, and they've been bombing boats um, without really knowing whether or not the
Yeah.
individuals on those boats or drug smugglers or whatever. But uh, I'm concerned about the
The military approach.
the military approach, because they're not only just doing it outside of the United States, they're using the military against the U.S. people, and so that concerns me. You know, we're using a publicly funded army to turn on us. We fund they act like the funding for the military it comes from out of magic somewhere, but it comes directly out of the income taxes of the people who work. So it's a publicly funded army that
Yep.
they're turning on us, and they're using it to bomb other places. And now I think I heard he was thinking about invading Nigeria.
Wow.
So we can't, number one, that's stretching the military too far.
Is this more than an
Yeah.
opinion? Is this an opinion or a
No,
strong?
it is my opinion that we're stretching this too far. That's definitely my opinion that we're stretching it too far. We're overusing the military, particularly when you're talking about turning the military on U.S. citizens or the people that live here in the United States, reside here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
The military is not trained for that. You know, they're not trained for that. They're trained for war.
Right.
So if you bring the military to the people, it's war.
So you don't think what just happened in Memphis, where they had like 4 or 5 alphabet boys down there, and they bought the National Guard. Yeah, when they first went down there, they parked some National Guard vehicles down there. Them little cats got them and started driving them around the city. But since then, they really changed Memphis. I seen a couple of articles where these ladies was praising Trump for sending them down there because it was like they wouldn't even let their kids go out the backyard to play, and now their kids can play on the front. They saying it's a new change in Memphis right now. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of people is congratulating Trump. So now I heard they here in St. Louis, and they finna come to St. Louis because I did run across something else in the news where he was having somebody two gentlemen was sitting back and he was like, yeah, Trump coming to St. Louis. We got to get to St. Louis. You know, to me, it's all about who he like that's mayor of these cities. If he don't like the city, I think he doing like Chicago. They protesting. You know, they doing a whole lot of, crazy stuff in Chicago. But, a city like St. Louis is so small, 400, 300,000, 350,000, you know what I'm saying? They just coming to solve murders and try to get, the crazy folk out the way. The people that's holding people back, put it that way. The ones that ain't got no insurance, that's ain't got their driver license, that's riding around with guns. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, to each his own. But I think he made some significant changes on trying to clean up what the normal police can't do. So I mean,
He said they had to bring in an extreme force because the streets aren't the same. They don't have basic weapons these days.
except everybody.
I mean, I can see pros and cons. I'm not the biggest supporter of the Trump administration, but I do see a few pros. I think some people are feeling a little bit safer in their streets.
Oh, it is. It is. I'm telling you.
There are some people saying it, and then there's some people that totally just don't like ICE. They don't like any of that in their community.
Right.
I understand it, and it most certainly is from an individual's perspective, you know, based upon your environment that you're living in and other things that are going on. However, I do believe that the maneuvers with the National Guard and the military being turned on residents of the United States sets a very bad precedent. Um, if we allow or we accept that this is what he's doing, he's saying he's keeping us safe when
Right.
it comes time for election, and he wants to intimidate people for not going to the polls. He'll use the same. He could use the same tactics, saying, "Well, there's lawlessness. Uh, we're expecting lawlessness at the polls, so we're going to send out the military. We're going to send out our folks to prevent this from happening."
I would say that's a safe assumption because I'm gonna say that's based off of your observation of his previous behavior.
Hexets, whatever his name is, the idiot that's over the military, is saying that they're going to have, they're creating units that they will be deploying to all 50 states, to 50 states. This is not any different than if you go back and you look through history about how what's the German guy's name? Hitler started. These are the same things that he's doing. The same things that he did, they're doing now.
They said that about Obama too, Mom. I mean,
Well,
they said, Miss Rafold.
Thank you. They said that about Obama, but Trump is actually doing it. There's a difference in thinking that somebody's going to do something or saying that they're going to do it. Trump is not just saying it. He is actually carrying out what goes through his head. He's using the Department of Justice to take out exact revenge on those he feels that responsible for him, and they prosecuted him, and they were successful in prosecuting him. So he's turning the Department of Justice against those folks that he feels are his enemies. He is using tax dollars to fund unnecessarily expend tax dollars on things like his military parade for his birthday. He had a party in Mar-a-Lago, and they said they didn't use it, but they did. He is totally ignoring, in a number of instances, the Constitution and how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
He's threatening those Republicans that won't follow him off the ledge.
You said that he got mad about a Ronald or something.
So when he was threatening having this tariff war with the Canadians,
Right.
the Canadians got a hold of a videotape where Ronald Reagan was being interviewed, and Ronald Reagan was saying, he was explaining point by point why tariffs don't make good economic sense, and using tariffs to increase the economy or would lead to downfall and catastrophic ending.
Not Mr. Trickle Down effect.
Ronald Reagan. And so the Canadians started playing that clip, a clip from that interview, when they were talking about the tariffs that our president was trying to enact against them, and he became very angry about it. You know, all they said was, and the news here though was that he became angry about a commercial that they ran. They did not run it because there are still there's some folks here that are steadfastly hardcore Republicans behind Ronald Reagan, and definitely Mr. Trump is not Ronald Reagan.
Oh no!
So is he going to come out and say Ronald Reagan is a liar? Ronald Reagan is wrong? So they didn't play the clip. Yeah, you know, I don't know that the White House needed a ballroom. But I'm just one person, and I have a very jaded perspective. I readily admit that.
When you said our president, I didn't want to interrupt you, but it made me think. You have two presidents in that situation, don't you?
I do have two presidents. I do.
Can you explain to them how that's possible?
Right.
It is possible because I am a citizen of Ghana, West Africa.
Ghana, West Africa. So you have
Muhammad Rama. Muhammad is my president. Yes, he is.
Okay.
So you have dual citizenship.
I have dual citizenship.
Yes,
Where are you originally from?
I was born and raised primarily in Kansas City, Missouri.
okay.
Go Chiefs.
No. No, I used to be a diehard Chiefs fan, you know.
I believe you called your son a traitor.
A traitor.
Yeah.
I no longer am a Chiefs fan. I was a Chiefs fan for many, many years.
What?
Many, many years. Yes. The greatest wide receiver that ever played the game was number 89.
How do you
Otis
know this
Taylor
so
for the
well
Kansas
about
City
the
Chiefs.
Chiefs?
Because, so what he's trying to push me to say is that I was a Kansas City Chiefette. And I spent a good many of my days in practice and on the field.
You were a professional cheerleader for the NFL.
No, I'm not.
You were.
The Chiefettes was a drill team.
And now you don't like the Chiefs.
I don't like the Chiefs. No, I don't care for the Chiefs.
Okay.
Ah, well.
Well, they ain't doing too bad because I know last year, the game they lost last year in the Super Bowl, it was some lady sitting in the stands and she had a voodoo doll of Patrick Mahomes and she was stabbing the voodoo doll.
Oh,
and so I think it just stayed over. It rolled over to this year because he ain't doing nothing.
No, well, I think that
You must be an Eagles fan.
yes, I
That
am.
too.
Boo, you and you too. Boo.
Yes, yes,
Dreadlox.
yes.
No, it's
Hey,
all
look, we
good.
both
Shout out to
like
the
that.
Eagles.
Yes,
Yeah.
shout out to the Eagles.
Yes.
I think that when you start building a team around one man like they did around Patrick Mahomes, the whole team is dependent upon what he does or doesn't do. And they should have just, Red should have just built the team to go forth as a team and not just Patrick Mahomes.
Sports, politics,
That's right.
geography.
And
What do
know,
you not do? This is my creator's
very-
mother.
She is very informed.
Your son can spawn a
She
nation.
is very
You doing
informed.
something else, boy?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
She's keeping up with everything, She keeps up with it.
Tell us more about Africa. They say that they don't like black
They who? Who's is this they? I want to talk to the they.
everybody. And they mama.
Okay, this is what I'm going to say. I've lived in Rwanda, and I've lived in Ghana. I have visited Uganda, Kenya, and those that out of the 54, there are 54 countries on the continent of Africa, and so that my experience is very limited. But what I will say is that in my experience in living there and visiting, there are people that don't care for people, just like there are folks here that don't care for certain folks. I think that there's been a that because of the conditions of our people, the folks in Africa were colonized. Those that were brought here were enslaved. And so there is this overarching
Now
treatment of individuals. And, and, and it has caused a great division. Those of us that come from the U.S. that come over there, some of us come over and we become the oppressors. We're the ones that do the gentrifying. That's not everybody, but it happens. I see Africans wanting to come here, and when you're having these discussions about, how bad it is in the United States, they say, yes, but look at you. You have an opportunity to work and earn money and have a nice home. And, the time that I spent living in Rwanda and Ghana, unless you are an official or a physician or something like that, if you were, say you're a secretary at a government office, you may make what's equivalent to $600 to $800 a month. That's it. The military is not paid well. The police are not paid well. I will say this, though. I felt a lot safer there than I have here. The military, the police, even the little mall cops, all carry AK-47s. And they have managed not to shoot not one civilian.
Oh. Now, when you say how we got here, this is raising the debate. People say that we were already here in America.
That's what I thought.
And then that we all didn't come from Africa. And then there's also, which I have actually found proof that this is false. Slave ships did exist. There are people that say that no, we didn't come here on slaves. I actually found proof that we did from publications that were published in the 1700s. But what would you say about that?
Okay, so from what I've read and things that I've learned, thousands of us, millions of us came over here on slave ships. There were people that had come and traversed the ocean and had arrived in America prior to that. All you have to do is go and look at some of the statutes and things. The people had navigated those waters and came over here and intermarried.
They came before Columbus.
They came before Columbus, and that's just a fact.
That is.
That's just a fact.
The argument that I heard one day, somebody sitting at this table and they said, that would mean when we was on the ship, we would have been bunched up, defecating on each other. Yes. That's what that means.
We were shackled together. People died and you would be laying next to a dead person. Women gave birth and the baby died. I mean, there are a whole host of horrible
stories that actually signed
occurred.
And dated from the 1600s describing this ship voyage, and we're hearing people say it's a lie, it didn't happen.
Right.
It's in the book of Revelation.
But they don't read anyway.
It's in the book of it says it too in the book of Revelation that the ones that came over slave ships are going to one day inherit the earth.
If you ever have an opportunity to come to Ghana or any of the, you should visit some of the slave castles.
You think they ready for Dreadlox, spidey? And you know what?
I want to go.
I
want to go.
Going to this, there was a documentary that I watched. I want you guys, it's this dude, Poudii, and it's inside Russia's hidden black community, where the man talks about there's a black guy there that's from Nigeria, and his dad moved there. And he said that, I think he's in his early 20s, but there is a small black community in Moscow. And he said Russia, like you were talking about, Ghana, and those are cities in the country. Like Russia, it's a city in the USSR, the Soviet Union. Moscow, yes. It's not like when people think of Russia, they think that's just like when you think of Africa, they just think of it like a city. And he was saying, no, we live here and we live good. We live well. And he said his father moved there in the early 80s, probably mid 80s. He was there for a job and he decided to stay there to what they call the hungry 90s, which I did not notice. Before about 8 to 10 years, Russia had no law enforcement.
Well, the government collapsed,
The government
and so
collapsed
then yeah,
and
they
they
couldn't.
had no law enforcement.
Right.
So if you think you got it bad here, just imagine what it's like with no law whatsoever.
Ooh, you talking about Haiti?
He did.
You know, I wanna step back to the discussion around slaving out and slavery, and I'll let it go. But people talk about, you know, they worked in the fields, they toiled in the fields, and they separated families. Those farms, I think, because they want to whitewash stuff, but a number of those farms were breeding farms. Like they breed cattle and pigs and things. Those were breeding farms. They took men and women to those farms for the sole purpose of them breeding and creating more slaves. So, you know, the whole discussion, there should be absolutely no discussion about the fact that there were not slaves. People didn't come over slaves because they did. And then they continued to enslave them, you know.
And what about the mixed race? You know what I'm saying? Because it was like back then too. It was a dark skin, light complexion Africans down. You know, so them was the ones that the slave masters was. You know.
Okay, again, let's go back there. There are 54 countries in Africa, and not everybody over there is dark skinned,
Okay.
right? Um, you can, and my mother used to tell me this all the time. Well, first of all, you'll find black people on, all over this globe, the entirety of it. But if you take a black crayon and you spread it out, go through the variations of the colors of the crayon, you'll come across all different colors. And you take a white crayon, there is no variation. Okay. Um,
People aren't crayons.
no, they're not crayons, but we talk about, if we could go through it genetically.
Thank
I
you.
mean, and so and genetically, scientists have proven, white scientists have proven, that all humankind came from one woman.
Scientific Eve,
Scientific, yes.
which they say came from either Southeast or Northeast African region, because of Pangea, everything was
You
connected.
know, you know, Israel is in Africa, right? They talk about it being the Middle East. It's the Middle East of what? The continent of
Of
Africa.
Africa.
So, goes back to your statement about they're light-skinned Africans, and so you know there are people that were born in South Africa that are white, so they're African.
Elon Musk.
Yes, Lord.
Because that's the thing I was talking about when Malcolm X went over there, when he took that trip to Mecca, and he went over there, and everything that the black Elijah Muhammad was teaching them that it was only one black. But when he came back, when he went over there to Mecca, he seen all different races, and it was like it woke him up, you know. So I can believe you.
Yes.
It's different tones of us around the world.
Um, Particularly when I was in Rwanda and Ghana, but particularly with considered a neighborhood. On my lane and the lanes that surrounded where I live, there were Muslims, Mormons, Presbyterians, Catholics. You know, in fact, the Muslim women had a bakery. Oh, they make the best bread. So there's there's
And they all managed to live together.
they all live in the same neighborhood. Yeah,
No fighting, no arguing.
I mean, like,
Maybe, yeah, but they're
but they're
people.
not. The issue in Ghana is tribal. I had been living there a couple of months, and they would see me coming and going, and so finally, one of the ladies down at one of the shops, as I was coming down the lane, there were about four of them, stopped me. They just stood in front of me, and they said, "Are you African American?" Because usually what happens is that people come and they stay in the specific areas that African Americans stay, the higher cost and thing. And I stayed in. I stayed.
She with us.
And I wasn't going anywhere, so they stopped me and they said, "So you're African American?" And I say, "Yes." So then they said that the thought was if you're African American and you are actually staying, you must belong to one of the tribes. Two of the women were just adamant that I was Ashanti. Um, Another woman was I was a Khan, and I was it shook me so. And when I got back to the apartment, I called a friend of mine, and he was like, "Well, it's because you've chosen to stay, and so everybody wants to claim you, right?"
What you gonna claim, cuz? No,
Well, true.
that's how it.
It's because it's very, very tribal. It is very, very tribal.
It's
like,
in our blood. I think people need to realize that. I think that's hereditary with us.
I don't know about that. I don't want to claim that.
But then why we been doing it forever?
But
why they been doing it forever?
You know, that's what took me to Rwanda. I went over and I did the counseling and reconciliation and healing with both the perpetrators and survivors of the Rwandan genocide. But that still goes on. There's still Hutus and Tutsis. They still, the Tutsis are kind of in charge now, and some of them will not hire a Hutu. Will not.
Not after what's been going on.
No,
I'm just scared of going to Africa because when I see it, it's like, people, them cats over there take your shoes. They running around with AKs and guns. But I've been seeing
tell me what story you've heard that they're
You
going
was
around
just praising the numbers.
shooting the people with AKs compared to what's here.
They got masks and tanks and camos driving through the neighborhoods with automatic.
Now I think I can make it there, but I just think in certain areas it's bad. Like in certain areas it's bad anywhere you go. But you know what I'm saying? I've been hearing that it is up on the upswing. You know what I'm saying?
What's on the upswing?
Being in Africa. It's this little dude named Check in Effect. He be going to all these little different companies. Our little countries. I be following him on YouTube. He always going around to them little countries and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you've struck a nerve with me because I hate to hear blacks here, African Americans, talk about how fearful they are of Africa. Right. But you'll take your ass over to Bahamas. You go to Belize. You go to Spain. You go to Mexico, and you're more danger in Mexico than you are.
And I believe you.
So because
You've been to Mexico too?
Yeah, I spent about 8 weeks in Mexico.
That's crazy.
You should be on his podcast.
You've been all over the world.
No, not yet. There's some places I still need to go.
Inshallah, perhaps.
Inshallah.
Now, okay, this I love it. I love the energy, y'all. But I'm gonna talk about. I'm reading the new book for personal pleasure. We're not gonna go through Tom Brown's today, Survival Field Guide, but it's still a good book. The book I'm reading now is by Jeff Goins, and it's called The Art of Work. Now, one phrase I got today from the program I was watching is when knowledge shifts to experience. All right. Now, I'm not gonna read this whole book. But I'm going to read a small quote, and it says, "You don't just know what your calling is. You must listen for clues along the way, discovering what your life can tell you. Awareness comes with practice." I'm going to give him a hand clap for that because that was a dope.
Yeah. Awareness comes with practice. They like practice what you preach. You know what I'm saying? You get better.
Practice
staying focused, you're always going to get better.
That's practice with knowing what's going on.
Okay.
Well, if I consider my journey, because I actually considered going ahead to college into my junior year, but I did. My mother and Otis told me I needed to stay for my senior year. But I wanted to go to USC.
You said Otis like we know who is Otis?
Otis Taylor. I told you Otis Taylor's the greatest wide receiver that ever played the game.
Yeah.
Hold on. You knew him?
Yeah, he was like my stepfather.
He dated your mama?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was like my stepfather, and I'm very thankful to him.
No wonder you know so much about sports.
I'm very thankful to him. But I wanted to go to USC.
OJ.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to go to
USC. It don't fit.
He was like, no, you gonna stay and finish. And I had intended to be a journalist, a sports journalist.
Okay.
You know, your grandmother was
Who?
my mother,
Huh? My creator's grandmother
my creator's okay,
was a journalist.
journalist. And so I decided that I was going to be a sports journalist, and I was going to get me a sports player to marry.
Okay.
And that didn't happen.
Wow.
As it turned out, life's experiences, life's ups and downs and trips and turns, brought me to the field of social work.
You don't seem happy.
Well, no, I'm very pleased and very proud of the work that I have done and will continue to do as a social worker. I'm retired professionally, but I still do work in community. I work in community here, and I work in community in Ghana, and I will continue to do that. I I I became a parent, and that experience in raising the first child I had by myself, although I can't say it was entirely by myself, but pretty much as a single parent, led me to understand more clearly those things in the systems that challenged people in a way that everybody's talking about raise yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, you can't do that if you don't have boots. That the system that systematically things were put in place to keep people poor people with big business. There's tons of organizations and agencies and government departments that are filled with people that are employed and paid to take care of poor people. There's certain things. Okay, so let's take Medicaid. There's Medicaid is the medical insurance for people that are with low incomes to no incomes. But there's a certain percentage of every Medicaid dollar that's spent that goes to a fund that helps train doctors.
They don't get the whole check no way. It'd be some of the check missing, right?
So then, and then the doctors can say how much they want to get paid, although the government puts a cap on certain things. And then let's talk about the food stamp. Everybody's running, and I do acknowledge that people will not have food, but understand that the food stamps that people receive every month is only supposed to supplement what the government says you're already supposed to have.
Right.
When you receive food stamps, what happens is you go in and they take your income and your bills and they make up a budget. And after that certain budget, they determine how much money you should, as a family, be spending on food. Then they give you food stamps to supplement that. Right. What we have now is people living off that supplement. The food stamps that people actually get every month is there to supplement the budget, the amount that they budget out of their family.
Are you seeing a pro in this action?
I'm sorry.
Are you seeing a pro? Are you verbally?
No, I'm saying I'm getting to it. So it's only supposed to be a supplement. Then the other thing is that think of all the stores and gas stations, the large and small stores, the stores in the neighborhoods that generate revenue
from the
taking
EBT
these food stamps. Right? So it's not just that people are not going to eat, it's that businesses are going to go, they're going to suffer. When they were moving from the paper coupon to the EBT card, I sat in on those discussions. We went in there because they were trying to come up with some foolishness, like they're gonna put their child welfare check on the card, and so the stores were saying, well, we only want them to be able to withdraw twice, so they can only use the EBT card to draw money off their check twice. And if it doesn't, then it'll take the card. And one of the women that was in there said, you try that and you're going to come up with a bunch of missing machines, right? When they were talking about what kind of machines they were going to have to use to process EBT payments at the cashiers. ADM, Archer Daniels Midland, came in and bid to produce those machines so that they would get money for that, right? Wow. Grocery stores came in and said, well, if you're gonna give them all their stamps at the first of the month, we're not gonna be able to accommodate them. We need to have money to enlarge our parking lots. What I'm saying is this, that while they're targeting this big public campaign of saying people are going to starve, I'm not neglecting that, because that's a very important thing. What they're not telling you is the rest of the story, is how many other people are making money off these food stamps.
So the government let a whole lot of people start accepting food stamps for hot food and stuff. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So by them passing that law, that people could start using their stamps to buy hot food, and people not getting them stamps, and like you said, they gonna be losing out. I didn't even think about that.
So if you get your EBT card and you go to, I know like a Schnucks and DePere, you can buy a steak. They will cook that steak there, and they even have a little dining area and have music entertainment there. You can purchase chicken wings at the store and then have them cook them for you. Wow. There was even a push, because so many elderly people would be going to White Castle in the morning or Hardee's in the morning. There was this push
to open early for them.
For them to take the food stamps, for them to be able to eat they said to eat hot, nutritious meals, because they gather, and that gathering is important for socialization, right? It is. So.
But the longer they spend in one place, the more likely they are to spend money, and when people see them in there, they'll spend more money.
They'll spend more money.
It's a science to the business.
It's a science to the business.
That's right.
And it's a system that they're saying has been set up.
It's all economic.
Politicians.
So here's the other deal. The stamps that people get at the first of the month, they're planning for their Thanksgiving meal. The stores, think about it. The stores have ordered all this food to prepare for Thanksgiving sales.
We say politics. We have to understand the politics. Even if you don't like politics, there's no way around it. You have to understand politics to get what you want, because of the country that we're in. But a lot of that is really just business science. It's not necessarily the politician, but it's their political analyst. It's who they have. It's their campaign team. So like when we say it's 10, 15 people thinking of an agenda to get over, thinking of an agenda to gain. And that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, but here's the thing. People can say, I don't deal with politics. I don't like politics. I don't like politics. But there are certain things that are written. There are unwritten rules that everybody follows. It's a policy. So tell me if you can answer this. I'll finish what I'm about to say. Everybody knows that at night you should be home before
midnight.
Street lights come on. Hey, the street lights come on. You better be at home on that porch before the street lights come in.
It's like it get dark so early, yeah.
So that's something that's really pretty universal. I used that in class. It's really pretty universal. It's a unwritten rule, but it is a policy.
And if you break that policy, there's consequences.
There are consequences. So policies, and that's what politics is, policies, written policies that have been written into law.
We're going to have to be more mature, and just because it's uncomfortable or something that doesn't feel good that you don't like, you have once you get to this is my opinion, once you grow up, you got a responsibility. So lead to that responsibility and then take care of it.
Oh, you have policies at home. You have policies as a child. When you come home from school, you're supposed to what? Change your clothes. You can have your snack, but you got to do your homework, do your chores. So those are policies, right?
I have to watch Saved by the Bell and Power Rangers and talk to Tiffany on the phone.
Sunday. But my thing about going to church, I like to be in sharp. I like to wearing suits and ties.
It shows till this
what
day,
does that
too.
have to do with going to church?
I'm just saying, these kids getting away from it these days. These parents ain't teaching them to put them in the church no more.
At least he found a reason to go.
I'm just messing with him. What does that have to do?
I know you had your kids going to church, didn't you?
Did I?
Did you?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to go. It was a month. It was like what we talking about. It
It's
was
a
one of
must.
them.
It's a policy.
It's a policy.
Yeah.
My mama made me go to church every Sunday.
Or
You
it
know
was
what I'm
gonna
saying?
be
It's a policy,
the
man. The
policy. Or
policy
she was
is.
gonna call in the National
Hey,
Guard.
boy, look.
And it was gonna be
Ooh.
some enforcement.
But my thing was, I loved it going to church. I loved it putting on
It
dress
shows.
shoes. I
Because of the
loved.
qualities that you have now, liking good speech and fellowship with people, it
Yes.
shows.
Thank you.
It shows.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, here we go with the fun stuff. My
Yes, sir.
God, y'all got me all responsible. Yo, bro, you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Oh, after go ahead. Can you cut his mic on? This is Master Bruce. Master Bruce. Master Bruce.
Yeah.
You remember? That's Master Bruce.
Yeah.
That's she seen it.
Oh yeah, the video.
Yeah.
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 Definitely a huge fan of it. Yeah. Man, I love what you was talking about though.
No doubt.
You know, for real, especially that last part about the food stamps and the subsidies. How it's just the system has been abused, you know, and I think that's the real
And not
reality.
just by the people that are using it to buy food, the stores.
The stores. I mean,
yeah.
it's a lot of abuse going on. I mean, a lot of people that's not even from this country is using it. A lot of people are using it to fund their businesses. A lot of people are using it to fund small businesses that they're doing, running catering shops and stuff. And it's all fraudulent if we really looking at it because it's our taxpayer dollars.
But it all stimulates the economy.
Exactly. Right. I mean, you know, crime makes the world go round.
Mean,
people say,
they can talk about a war on drugs, but it's stimulating the economy.
That's right.
All you have to do is walk the halls of Jeff City, walk the halls of the Capitol.
Yeah.
And they'll be, you know.
I mean, but if we saying that, I mean, drugs stimulate the economy.
Stimulate
you know what I mean? So it's
economy.
like all of these metrics, you know, it
Absolutely.
stimulates it. And I just think that when you have a broken system, finally, it's just gonna break, unfortunately, you know. But I think we're gonna survive as a people. We just gotta start.
Females in leadership.
You know, I just think we gotta start. I ain't going there, man.
Master Bruce.
We just gotta be more educated. I think people have got to be more educated and more receptive to listening to the other side than staying in the echo chamber. Because if you just listening to a whole bunch of people that's telling you right, then how you gonna grow? So it's like you gotta hear the other side, and I mean this cold-heartedly, like black people in general, we gotta stop just listening to CNN and listening to other independent media and just hear the other side out, because oftentimes and right now, like, we are really just getting duped. You know what I mean? So my message to my people is to just hear the other side out and go seek the truth for real. Because Josh Hawley did put a bill together to get SNAP benefits back on.
Oh, because he knows. See, we've done this before in the state.
Mm-hmm.
About 6 years ago, maybe more than that, they decided they were going to cut Medicaid. All these lazy people, and they ain't really sick. And then 2 of the little towns in Missouri closed up. You know why? They were dependent upon the Medicaid.
Yeah.
The hospital ran on Medicaid. The doctors were paid. The physical therapists, the audiologists, and then they frequented the restaurants, who then purchased other stuff from the stores. The linen company that provided the tablecloths and the sheets to the hospital went out of business.
Like you said, how it stimulates the economy.
The system isn't broken. It's working according to plan. It's working just the way it's supposed to work. Right. I think though that what they weren't expecting was that there are some people that have become woke, and we've got people now that are growing their own food. You know, we're trying not to have people have chickens and using if you put solar panels in your house and your bill starts going down, they're gonna come and inspect. They're gonna want to know why you're not paying them no more. So I am not. I feel okay. What I'm about to say, I am not totally upset that Trump is president. The United States is like a junkie. Got to hit rock bottom before they do something. And all great empires come to an end. We are witnessing the end of the great United States of America's experiment in democracy. It was never a democracy,
Republic.
and so I'm not that sad about it. I would hope that we would get ourselves together, and I wish we could go back before we had integration and work on some things.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation
it's
right
all
there.
conversation.
I had somebody. Ooh, that's a
I guess we need to have a part 2. Then.
man.
We might just have to come back.
That was a horrible thing that happened to us.
Yeah.
I want to.
You know.
Okay, Okay. Let's start. This is y'all got any more before we start talking about the serious
I'm
stuff?
I'm done. I could go. Yeah, I'm trying not to.
You go ahead and say the other. You want to talk about that, or you want to wait a while?
I'd like to hear it.
Okay, I want to talk about it because we was working on it. So yeah, my name's TZ Marshall. Okay, I go by Martial Arts Media, and so what I've been working on. Appreciate that. Thank you. My show's right there, cartoons and cuts that I do. But yeah, what I've been working on is our own streaming platform because I know for a fact that we don't get to tell our stories, right? And imagery, the television, like it does a lot to us. It warps our mind. And I always wanted to do something like that, and so I'm creating my own platform to where independent artists and filmmakers can come and they can showcase their films and actually get paid for it. So it's called Loop.
Okay.
And so it's where Netflix meets Shopify, to where you will come on to this platform and you pay a subscription fee, and what that allows is for you to have an e-commerce store built inside. So as you running your content, whether it be long form or short form, you have merchandise that you can sell inside of that store, and you retain majority of that profit share. Because the goal is that a lot of these filmmakers, they be getting ripped off, and the barrier of entry is so high. Like Tubi is getting expensive. To get on Netflix, it's expensive. To try and watch your stuff on YouTube or to get people on YouTube is too saturated, And so where can the independent artist or the independent filmmaker really go in this market that isn't saturated, that is for the common man and the common woman? And so that's why I wanted to create Loop, and that's why I'm creating Loop. It's for that, and it's a proven platform and model for you to get paid instead of just relying on the ad views. 4 cents for views, and you're gonna get X amount of dollars. Okay, that sounds cool too. But what about you also got an integrated store to where you can sell that physical copy of your movie? Because the physical copy is just coming back. Then you can sell the digital copy. Then you can sell the merchandise. And so that's the true goal. So we can really control our own narrative and create our own media space. And that's what I want to showcase.
Like small movies to what the range of the filming that you're doing? Is it any range going to be like something you put on TikTok all the way up or what?
Yeah, so basically, like when I mean like short form, so anywhere between like a minute and 30 to like 10-minute content, and then long form, basically up to like an hour and a half of like a full feature length film that you can put on there. And so the goal, I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's like you can use your TikTok, you can use your Facebook as a means of advertisement to draw them to Loop to watch the full thing. So you can do your best 30-second clip, on these other platforms to get them to the main apparatus, which is Loop. And so that's the true goal of it, is because those platforms is cool, but you're not getting paid on there. We putting a lot of good content out there, and then it's kind of confusing to get paid on there. It's like, put this on. It's confusing kind of sort of to get paid on there, and nobody's telling you how to get paid, right? But I'm telling you how to get paid. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to spend money, because the thing about it, they get us on free. So now that it's free, they got to figure out how to get paid, because how do you make money off of something that's free? You don't. So now you got to cheat. That's why nonprofits really don't work, because how you gonna make money off of something that's free?
Okay. You can make money. You just can't give it back to your shareholders.
Yes, ma'am. I want to give out misinformation, so that's right. So
You got to
You
make
know.
money. You got to make money to keep a nonprofit going. But I think that from what you've said, that it sounds like a very worthwhile venture, and I hope that it works for you. I'm wishing you success.
Thank you.
Much success, and for those that work with you, I'm wishing them success as well. We've got to. I do agree that we've got to do something different. This capitalist system that's been designed, like I said, it's working just fine. We've got to figure something out. We got to do something a different way. We really do.
Yeah.
And, as a people, we really need to start
As a people.
As a people.
What about as far as like getting into real estate as a people? How can we? 'Cause I think that's another thing too.
Tell me what you mean by getting into real estate.
Well,
because I'm not a realtor, but I know some people that do some stuff. They dilly dally, so I just wanted to know what you mean.
Well, I mean, as far as really trying to acquire some type of land or some type of real asset that could generate some type of wealth, and one of the things is actual real estate, acquiring some type of property to where you can, make some money off of it. Like right now, the multi-family unit, that's what a lot of things that people are getting into, because people always gotta live somewhere. And one thing that we seeing, perfect example, I'm seeing it right now in Overland, how they building up the Costco and all of that area right there, and they've been trying to buy that neighborhood. They already tore down parts of that neighborhood to create that, and they're moving further eastward into 82nd and 84th Street down into the neighborhoods to eventually it's gonna be nothing.
So they're using Costco as an anchor. Are they building other stores around there as well?
Oh yes, they built a Costco over there. It's an Einstein. They got a Chick-fil-A, and now they building the Deerbergs on the other side. It's a First Watch. Further up, they built right there off of 170. They got the new apartment complex. I can't remember what's it called, but on top of that land, they got an Aldi's that's built down there. And they building another one because they kind of going further back inside of the Woodland area, and they're gonna build another multi-family unit inside of there.
I don't know much. I'm just I've dated and interacted with folks that have rental property.
Mm-hmm.
And some folks that have rehabbed and resold. The issue is finding your market, because there's a whole lot of people out here that are unhoused, not having the income to pay. The guy was telling me he gets $400 a month in Social Security. Well, people I know have nothing that's in that range. That might cover the utilities for the month, but it's not going to be covering the rent.
Yeah.
So who your market is what I'm seeing, and I'm really shocked at how hard it is to have stable tenants. Having stable tenants, because I know people that work in very prestigious positions that behind in their rent, behind in their car note, but they dress nice. They into entertainment, right? Mm-hmm. And all the accoutrements for the entertainment. But not
Priority
It's
to
hard.
manage your money.
It's hard.
We got 7 minutes, y'all. This is a
hard.
great episode. I love it.
It is hard though.
But this is what I want. Now we're gonna say a little bit of time for the fun stuff before I get out. You was joking around calling your son a traitor because you created a spidey. You said, "What about your family?"
Okay, so initially there was Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman.
Mm.
It's a Batman family.
I'm a Batman fan, so
There you go.
There you
Okay.
go. Did that answer your question?
Dang.
youngin?
So this is what we gonna do.
Oh, don't start with me.
This is what we gonna do. And
You
he gonna
don't-
have a big surprise for you when you see
You don't want to start this.
what he's been reading.
Oh.
What he's been reading.
Okay.
All right, so before we close out, we're gonna start with Brother Kane.
Yep.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Read people minds.
That's Professor X over there.
Yes, Professor X. Read people minds. Jack. That's right. I like to know what you're thinking, man.
What about you?
I would just say agility. You know what I'm saying? I would probably like super agility. I don't want to be super
Like
fast.
a spider?
Yeah.
Like me.
Well, like a ninja or something like that. Like that's what I would want.
Agility.
Yeah.
Super agility.
Super agility.
Okay.
The ability to travel wherever I want.
Nightcrawler. It don't seem so cool because he got blue, but that's what he does. He teleports. We said superpower.
That is a superpower.
Not really, it's freedom.
Well, jumping from windows off of a string is superpower.
Oh, Batman can't do it. You in your Gotham City.
Yeah, superpower.
All right.
I wish I could heal those that are suffering.
Well, from what I know, my creator, your son, said he would love to be able to control time.
Yeah, he would. I could see that. And we'd all be messed up.
Well, we're all entitled to, he may be.
Because he would have the time fixed just for him. Okay.
Oh, wow. All right, y'all want to give any shout-outs? Give us how to find you. Starting with ladies first.
To find me?
How to find.
Oh, well, I don't
Yes.
know that you need to find me.
Like Instagram, Facebook page.
Yeah, but I have my Facebook page locked. There's too many idiots out there just really.
So no in social media. She's just old school, y'all.
No,
Okay.
I just was getting crazy people contacting me
You
about.
think if we had some topics, you could come back around and visit?
I
Very
could.
sure.
I could do that. I
Maybe
could do that.
his show, and then life.
But I do want to leave the information again. One silver star for the food giveaway and Christmas program is Cassandra Logan. And she can be reached at 314-495-8828. That's 314-495-8828. One silver star, Cassandra Logan.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I would say please follow me at Marshall Arts Network on IG. That's Marshall spelled like the department store, Arts with a Z, and Network, where I host my podcast called Cartoons and Cuts, where we had the latest and greatest conversation, centering around hip hop, and just everyday life, man, So yeah, follow me.
Mr. Kane.
Follow me. It's your boy Bay Jr. You can follow me Cap Bay 4 on Instagram, Eulus Kane, EULUSCAIN on Facebook. Stronger Than Ever the podcast. Thank you.
Spidey got a TikTok. Check me out on TikTok. That Dreadlox Spidey. DreadLoxSpidey. Shouts out to the whole Spideyverse. It was very great show. And I appreciate everybody that joined. Tune in next Tuesday. We're going to have some more good stuff for y'all. I love it. Well, hold on, peep game. Hold on, watch this, y'all.
This is the best version. I was a Spider-Man.
Any size, catches thieves, just like flies. Look out! Here comes the Spider-Man.